What's up, everyone? It's your host, Ghost, coming to you live with another wonderful video. How's everyone doing today? I'm doing well myself. As you could probably tell, this is a recorded video. I am busy tomorrow. It being not really because it's due to being at 9/11, but I'm busy. I gotta watch my daughter while my wife goes and does some tests for her pregnancy and all that. Just the standard tests you normally got to do. So I'm busy, got to do that. So I figured I'd record a video and so have it all ready for you guys to enjoy this morning. Well, tomorrow morning, but this morning when you see it. But yeah, that's basically why I'm not doing a live show. I know last week I promised to do a review on the Tate's lawyer from the when he showed up on Fresh and Fit to do the podcast and whatnot. I'm gonna save that for Tuesday, just so I can do it live with you instead of just doing a recording. I'm going to assume that's going to end up taking most of my show on Tuesday, so that's probably going to be the only thing I end up doing, which is fine, no big deal there. But yeah, anyways, that's basically my reasoning for doing this recording and whatnot. Today, another reason for insurance. Well, that's great, perfect. Another reason for doing this video as well is because something came up when this happened last week on Friday. Yeah, Friday. Which is really important news. It's an attack on the Second Amendment, a violation of the Constitution as well. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, well, we'll get into that. But the New Mexico governor, Democrat, surprising, I know, has suspended both open carry and concealed carry laws for 30 days in high crime counties. She is attempting to declare gun violence a public emergency. We will go over the bullshit term of gun violence. But yeah, that's what happened on Friday. And then also, to continue, on the 9th, a New Mexico sheriff is refusing to enforce the governor's ban and says it's unconstitutional. So we'll look at that. And then also, today, there was apparently a rally against the order. So we'll look into that as well. So yeah, some very interesting stuff going on in New Mexico, tyranny going on. And then after that, what we're going to talk about is the Loudon County dad has been pardoned by Governor Glenn Youngkin. So while Democrats are doing stupid shit, Republican, well, sorry, let me rephrase that. Wait, is he a Republican? I have no idea. Hold on, let me just. Hold on. Okay, he is. Okay, so while a Democrat is practicing tyranny, a Republican is practicing common sense. We'll go over why he pardoned this Loudon County dad. You may remember this dad. He is the one, if you kept on the news. His daughter, unfortunately, was a victim of sexual assault by a transgender student in a bathroom. So a guy pretending he was a girl. And he was he was the one who had to deal with that the cover up by the school, because not only did this student also sexually assault a girl from another school, he got removed from that school and then got sent to this other school and sexually assaulted another girl. So he was arrested for disorderly conduct and then and also removed from the school board meeting. So we'll go over that, which is great. This is great news. This is what you should do. But we'll go over that. It's very personal. The story is very personal to me, as I have a daughter as well. And I can only imagine how this father feels, as I am a protector by nature. So if this crap ever happened to my daughter, well, I would probably go to jail, to be honest. And then back to tyranny. California passes a bill punishing parents who don't affirm trans kids in custody battles. So that happened on the 8th or around the 8th. Yeah, on the 8th. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. And it's gotten so sensationalized, even Elon Musk wrote about it. And then after that, if I have time, I'm going to try and just keep this around an hour. We will be talking about The View and their attempts. They also, because I think I did I did a video on this about New Yorkers trying to although New York being a sanctuary city, now they actually have to deal with immigrants. They're not really happy about that, migrants. Now that they actually have to deal with it, now they want them out of their city. Shocking how that fucking works. So we'll go over that, look into that. Well, at least watch the video that I've seen. And then if I have time, grand jury believes witnesses in Georgia election may have committed perjury. Lindsey Graham, Kelly LaFell. Yeah, Lindsey Graham and two ex-senators in a 2020 case. So we'll look into that if I have time for that, but I don't know. We'll save that for maybe. But anyways, without further ado, before I get into it, make sure you follow me on, first off, like this video, of course, and then follow me on Rumble and YouTube with my normal channel, Gaming with Ghost. With my daily show with Ghost. Follow me there on YouTube and Rumble, and then follow me on my other channel, Gaming with Ghost. There will be a link in description for both videos, so check that out. I'm 2 away from being able to get a unique URL code for my Gaming with Ghost channel, so that would be really cool if you guys could check me out there. Oh, and then of course, follow me on @officialwghost on X. That just helps you get the links to my channel when I go live and all that stuff. Make things easier. All right. So, without further ado, let's get into this, huh? So, there we go. Democrat, New Mexico governor, not judge, suspends open and concealed carry laws for 30 days in high crime counties. Grissom justified her decision by declaring gun violence a public health emergency. Okay, sure. Okay. Oh, come on. All right. New Mexico Governor Michelle Lujan Grissom has signed an executive order temporarily banning the carrying of firearms in areas of the state with high crime rates. The ban will last for 30 days and is effective immediately. Grissom justified her decision by declaring gun violence a public health emergency after an 11-year-old boy was killed on his way home from a baseball game on Wednesday. Now, before I get into this, let me just, first off, let's talk about the idiocy of this. Okay, so she bans carrying of firearms in areas of the state with high crime rates. Yeah, those are the areas you actually would want a gun more often than other areas. I'm just saying, if I'm in an area I know has high crime rates, that's where I want the gun the most to have. Because for one, again, with every gun control law you ever see, it never punishes the criminal. It always punishes the law-abiding citizen and turns them into criminals if they disobey. Now, I know a lot of you say, hey, that's all crime, that's all laws. It's actually not, because here's the thing. Like with murder, okay? Murder, like, it does deter people from murdering, but it doesn't stop murdering. All murder, like having murder laws do, is punish someone afterwards. Same with robbery laws. All they do is have a way to punish people afterwards. The person that gets punished wasn't a law-abiding citizen one day, and then the next day a criminal due to a law. So is this person that was going to murder would have murdered regardless of the law or not. And the same with the robber. A person with a firearm, unless he's intending to do a crime, is a law-abiding citizen one day, and then once the law is in effect and still has that gun, isn't. That's the big difference, I think, in all these gun control laws, and the difference between gun control laws and gun laws, or regular laws, because the thinking of regular laws is to punish a criminal after the fact, or it's to punish a specific person doing a crime. Okay. Now, when you put gun control laws, you don't punish criminals. You end up punishing law-abiding citizens. Now, regardless of whether they decide to abide by the law or not, you end up punishing law-abiding citizens. Either A, you strip them of their constitutional right, or B, you prevent them from defending themselves and protecting themselves. And I think that's what gets lost in this in the sauce, really, when it comes to this argument between gun control laws and whatnot, is that people misconstrued what the laws actually do. They're more of a deterrent, and they always end up punishing someone after a fact. You can't you can't punish someone before they commit a crime. You have to do it afterwards. But gun control laws always hurt. Like regular laws always hurt regular criminals. That's all. That's all they ever do. They never hurt law-abiding citizens. Gun control laws always hurt gun control. Gun control laws always hurt law-abiding citizens. If that makes any sense. I have a very shitty way of explaining myself at the moment, so getting used to this crap. But yeah, that's the thing, is gun control laws always hurts law-abiding citizens. Either A, turning them into criminals, or B, preventing them from defending themselves or protecting themselves. That's all gun control laws ever do. Okay? Because the gun control law isn't going to affect the criminal that they're aiming for. Like, most gun violence is committed by gang on gang violence. That's where a lot of the high crime rates with gun violence is. It's gang on gang violence. So these gun control laws aren't going to stop these fuckers. Okay? It's not going to do anything to them. Like, it's not going to prevent them from doing anything, but it is going to prevent someone who gets carjacked from defending themselves, or gets robbed, or gets guns, threatened with murder, or anything. It always hurts them. So yeah. But anyways, I digress. And then her second thing is justify her decision by declaring gun violence a public health emergency. I've gone over this a bunch of times. Gun violence is a very broad term. You know what it also includes? Gun violence is it's violence used with a gun. Now, that violence can be good or bad. I know that's very odd to hear. What? Violence can be good or bad? Well, depending on what you use it for. Self-defense technically is violence. At least in my view. Let me look at the actual definition. Yeah, so I mean, the definition of it is behavior involving physical force intended to hurt, damage, or kill someone, or something. And then they got the law, and it's like the unlawful exercise of physical force and violence. Violence, an act of physical force that causes or is intended to cause harm. It's the definition of violence. Now they got a law one that says unlawful exercise, but in all honesty, like with self-defense laws, it's not really. It's a defense that's lawful, but it's not really considered lawful unless a jury rules that it is, or a prosecution never brings a case against it, I guess. But here's the thing with whenever they call gun violence, I guess going back to what I was trying to say is it always encompasses self-defense, okay, and suicides and accidental discharge. It always encompasses those three. If you read any statistics that say gun violence or gun crimes or anything like that, it always ends up encompassing those three. And the highest is, generally self-defense, and then the second suicides, and then I think the third is ends up being accidentals. Okay. Oh, this governor also says that no right is absolute, even her power, apparently. Okay, so anyways, let's continue. Today, I issued a 30-day ban on open and concealed carry guns in Albuquerque and Bernalillo County. Grissom said on X, gun violence is killing between 2 and 3 children every month in New Mexico. Every single one of these deaths is unconscionable and must be stopped. Well, why don't you focus on the gang violence that are probably going to be what happens? According to the KOB4, the order does not apply to police or licensed security officers. All citizens also remain free to possess firearms in private. The move has been deemed unconstitutional by many. However, Grissom has made it clear she's prepared for a legal fight. All right, so here's a short one. Yeah, prepare for that. And it is unconstitutional. It is. Like, I don't know what to say. This chick is fucking ridiculous. All right. So now let's get to this next one. So New Mexico sheriff refuses to enforce governor's ban on carrying guns, says it's unconstitutional. As the elected sheriff, I have reservations regarding this order. And again, remember, just so everyone remembers, this governor here says that no rights is absolute. That's a very dangerous thing to say as an elected official. Just saying. It's kind of a step towards tyranny. All right. On Friday, Bernalillo County, New Mexico Sheriff John Allen announced that he has reservations regarding an order. Pardon me. Regarding an order from Governor Michelle Loudon Grisham to suspend firearm laws for 30 days because it challenges the foundation of our Constitution. In a post on X, Allen acknowledged that every lost life is a tragedy, and the well-being of our community is paramount concerning the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office. He said, however, as the elected sheriff, I have reservations regarding this order. While I understand and appreciate the urgency, what the hell? The temporary ban challenges the foundation of our Constitution, which I have swore an oath to uphold. He continued, I am aware of placing my deputies in positions that could lead to civil liabilities conflicts, as well as the potential risk posed by prohibiting law-abiding citizens from the constitutional right to self-defense. I was elected to represent and safeguard all constituents to ensure the balance between our rights and public safety is maintained. This balance, that means we must critically evaluate our proposed solutions to deep-rooted issues of gun violence, ensuring we both protect our community and uphold the values that define us as a nation. Allen listed 7 initiatives that his office have implemented to curb gun violence in his jurisdiction. Those initiatives are utilizing extreme risk protection orders, a behavioral health unit, a youth gun violence prevention program, a felony firearm possession intervention, a crime commission initiative, partnering with different agencies, and a violence intervening program. We may not be in complete alignment with the governor's recent order. We remain steadfast in our community work to work collaboratively with her and her office and the community to find sustainable solutions to the gun violence epidemic plaguing our county, Allen concluded. Okay, yeah, I just read that. In a press conference, the governor claimed that if she declared it an emergency, it gives her additional powers. She said, no constitutional right, in my view, including my oath, is intended to be absolute. Wow. See? There are restrictions on free speech. Okay. There are restrictions on my freedom. Okay, so the free speech restrictions he's talking about actually aren't free speech restrictions. They're restrictions on actions. Okay, like yelling fire in a movie theater crowded movie theater. You can say that if there's a fire. If there's not a fire, you can't say that because it causes a panic and causes actions that may result in harm. That's why that part is restricted. That's what restrictions of free speech is. There's not really restrictions of free speech. They're restrictions of actions or calls to actions by free speech. In this emergency, this 11-year-old and all these parents who have lost all these children, they deserve my attention. Now, I have a question for this governor. I have a question. How would this law have prevented the death of this 11-year-old? Okay, that's just my question. Let me see. All right. Now, so I'm reading the report now of it. So apparently, this 11-year-old was killed due to a road rage incident where someone fired 17 shots at a vehicle following a possible road rage incident. Police arrived on the scene and found the 11-year-old dead and a woman in her 20s taken to the hospital in critical condition. Okay, so I'm reading this. How would this have prevented this death? How would this prevent it? Because in my assumption, someone who is so unstable that they would think, shooting at someone after a road rage incident is justifiable, probably isn't going to listen to some order to prevent, to not have not to, carry a gun. I mean, that's just my opinion. And some people, I'm sure, will be like, well, he's not, he's unstable enough to buy a gun. Well, we don't know when he bought the gun, how he got the gun, nor do we know whether this is this type of behavior has always been. And also, again, there's a way to prevent someone that is, mentally unstable. Road rage, this guy's just got some anger management problems, clearly. But again, for all we know, we don't know that this would had prevented this from ever happening. There's no way. So, Albuquerque Police Chief Harold Medina Page said his department would not be handling the enforcement of the governor's ban, but that it would be left up to state law enforcement agencies to do so. Many have seen this ban as unconstitutional, while Grissom has made it known she is ready for a legal fight. That's great. You should definitely be ready for a legal fight because I'm hoping that the legislators of Albuquerque, of New Mexico, state legislators, will impeach your ass. All right, now we're going to look at the rally that they conducted.
Our communities, crime is riddled, and all we want to do is protect our families, our friends, our communities. I've gone on 2 combat tours with the Marine Corps and fought on the front lines. I've done 11 trips as an independent contractor. She thinks she has the right to take away my freedom to protect my community. I don't think so. This will not stand. We will not comply. Look what the U.S. government did to the Native Americans. They try to strip them of their rights. This is the same thing. Our Apache brothers resisted to the very end. Navajos, we got to be the same. Resilient. Resilient.
I tell you that I was trapped for 13 years and the law doesn't protect us. I'm an indigenous person. That's why my kid is here. The law doesn't protect us. And nobody, F the government. The government does not like indigenous people.
Oh my God, come on.
Sterilizing our children. Sterilizing our women. Frankly, thinking that is okay. Oh, that's a tell you now. No more crap. Jefferson? Say yes.
Protesting the Capitol during COVID?
What's that?
Were you present at the protesting the Capitol during COVID?
Thomas Jefferson.
I wasn't at that one. No.
What's your name?
Daniel Montano.
Daniel Montano?
Declaration of Independence, something like that.
You see most of my stuff
In that,
usually
we
on
said
KUNF.
that
A
we
lot
have
of my stuff.
unalienable God-given rights. Our rights come from God. Our privileges come from government. Don't get them confused. They're very different. Okay? Rights come from God. He also said we have the right to.
All right. Totally got derailed with that freaking Native American crap. Oh, God. Every single time. Okay, so there you go. Now, what's the solution? Well, the solution is impeaching this governor. How do you impeach a governor? Well, you just, it's the same way you would impeach a president. It's just at the state level. The state legislators, the state Congress and state Senate or whatever. So yeah, there's the state legislators. Sorry. Yeah. So instead of a Congress, they have legislators, and it's up to those people to file articles of impeachment against this governor. And I hope they do. I don't think they will. Let's see. I doubt they will. I really doubt they will. But it'd be really cool to see them, because this is an extreme overstep in authority. Just to, I'm just going to declare this, public emergency gun violence is, but then there's a bunch of other things incorporating it. Like I said, most of it's self-defense and suicides. That's what most gun violence is. Gun crimes, gun violence, whatever you want to call it. All right. So there we go. Now, before I get into the rest of my stuff, I have something very important to talk about. It's like the most important thing you could talk about. Okay, it's by far extremely important. Actually, it couldn't even be more important if you tried. Honestly, it's way too important. So important, I didn't even have it all queued up or anything, but it's still extremely important. I just didn't queue it up. Now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about something very, very important, as I keep saying, as a way to as I try to whatever the fuck I'm trying to say. All right, I am talking about, of course, Coffee Brand Coffee. That is the coffee company I use. I'm an affiliate of Coffee Brand Coffee. It is a delicious coffee. Currently, they're offering free shipping for any orders over $90. So if you get a 5-pound bag coffee, boom, there you go. Now, Coffee Brand Coffee is, it has classics: light roast to dark roast, some Ethiopian light roast too, double caffeinated, bourbon flavored. But my personal favorite is right here, French toast flavored. That is my personal favorite. That's what I generally drink in the mornings when I do a live show. You'll see me drinking coffee, and it is Coffee Brand Coffee that I am drinking. So, yeah, if you really want to try some good coffee, Coffee Brand Coffee. But if you don't like coffee, there's other things you can try. They have tea, K-cups as well. Not really that important, but they have tea. They got classics, green, breakfast, English breakfast, oolong, chamomile. But they got, apple pie, biscotti oolong, mint. And if you're not a tea or drink or if you're not a tea or coffee drinker, well, there's, fall is upon us, which means winter is coming shortly after. And that means you can have some delicious hot chocolate. We got velvety hot chocolate, rich caramel, and marshmallow hot cocoa. It's, I haven't tried it yet. I do plan to whenever I get the money to buy some cocoa, because normally my priority is my damn coffee, because I'm the most important thing in the whole universe. No, that's not true. But, yeah, so you can have your cocoa. Now, if you're feeling a little snacky, you want some snacks going on, you got you got a variety of nuts and some saltwater taffy. So you have options. Coffee Brand Coffee gives you a variety of options. If you the unique thing about Coffee Brand Coffee is it's roasted to order, meaning they don't start roasting it until you order it, meaning it's as fresh as you could possibly get it without, of course, doing it yourself or going to a store that does it. I don't know any store that does, but if there's a store near you that does, then obviously that would be far fresher. Sorry. Yeah. So yeah, try Coffee Brand Coffee. As you can see down there on my banner, there is a link or a coupon code GHOST. You can use that. You can also use this referral link. They give you 5% off, and also allows me to earn a commission off of this because I am a hoe and I like to earn money. Sorry, mind blank. I am a hoe and like to earn money. It's a weird place to stop off, but it is true. I am a hoe and I like to earn money. I keep saying that. It's kind of making me laugh. But yeah, so I mean, it gives me credit when you use these links. Now you have an option to subscribe, and if you subscribe, then that gives you 10%, and you won't be able to use my coupon code or anything to get any additional percentage down. But you can at least at the very least you can get some. If you're not interested in subscribing, you want to try it, you can get at least 5% off. And then if you are, just still use that referral link, and that still gives me credit. Even if you don't get the 5%, I get the credit for bringing you over. And we all like our credit, don't we? I do, at least. Sorry, have yet to send this, shit out in a while. Anyways. But anyways, yeah. So check out Coffee Brand Coffee. All right, back to our regularly scheduled broadcast as soon as I do something here. I really got to change that. All right, so let's get to this next thing now that I've done being distracted. All right. So there you go. Governor. Okay, there we go. So we went from some tyranny. Now we're going to some. Oh, shoot. Let me get rid of that banner. Now let's get to, governor actually doing their goddamn job. Governor Glenn Youngkin pardons Loudon County dad who protested school board after daughter's sexual assault. Youngkin says the daughter was a victim of an attempted cover-up. Not attempted. They did try to cover up. If it wasn't for him, no one would know about this. Just saying. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin has pardoned the Loudon County father who protested against the sexual assault of his daughter and her public schools attempt to cover up the incident. No, they did try to cover up the incident. If it weren't for him going to the school board, none of us would hear about it. I'm just saying. His office announced Sunday. Youngkin made the announcement on Friday at Fox News Sunday with host Shannon Bream, saying he had signed the pardon on Friday. The pardon is for Scott Smith, who was convicted of disorderly conduct in August 2021 after he erupted at school board members over their handling of an investigation into his daughter's attack. Now, he probably wasn't in jail, but you can still get pardoned even if you weren't in jail. So this just gets wiped from his record. I spoke with Mr. Smith on Friday and had the privilege of telling Mr. Smith I will pardon him, and we did that on Friday. Youngkin said, we righted a wrong. He should have never been prosecuted here. This was a dad standing up for his daughter. His daughter had been sexually assaulted in a bathroom of a school, and no one was doing anything about it. He continued, adding that the superintendent has covered it up. Smith's daughter was sexually assaulted in a restroom at Stonebridge High School by a biological male said to have been wearing a skirt. Mr. Smith did what any father would do, what any parent would do which is stand up for their child, Youngkin said. This was a gross miscarriage of justice. The governor went on to emphasize the importance of ensuring that parents have the final say over their children's education. Youngkin's administrations is currently cracking down on Virginia public schools that refusing to adequately enforce requirements that parents be informed if their children express any gender confusion at school. I'd say a law right there. And I guess he addressed, he said no comment on presidential primary. This wouldn't be a good time for him to run. There's already people. No, I say he should wait. How old is the guy? He's 56. He's got a little bit of time. I'd say definitely pass this time around. Maybe try next time. But yeah, this is a very good thing. Okay. The fact that this, again, I don't think he probably didn't, let's see. He probably didn't spend any time in jail or anything. But just this conviction was bullshit. Like, this wasn't some guy on, this disorderly it wasn't disorderly. It was extremely, well, I mean, maybe it was disorderly, but still, this was justifiable disorderly conduct. There we go. This school board was lying to the county, saying there's no evidence of any, because during this whole thing, there's like, the whole trans in bathrooms crap. And the school board was saying, oh, there's no evidence of, anyone being assaulted or anything. And this father comes up, it's like, my daughter was, and you just covered it up. You moved this kid to a different school, or he came from a different school, or you did it again, or you did it to my daughter, but you did it before, or you moved into a school and he did it again. I can't remember which it was. And then they removed him, and then they arrested him. And then also what people don't understand or may not know is when he first got the call and went to the school, the police officers there prevented him from seeing his child that was just sexually assaulted because he was not acting calm in the incident. It was complete and utter bullshit. But yeah, this was just ridiculous. This whole thing. This guy never should have been arrested, or he should have been prosecuted. So not only does the school board need to be fired, those officers need to be fired. Okay. Like, I remember reading this and watching this. This was just really ridiculous how all this fucking happened. Just boils my blood. This poor girl gets sexually assaulted. Instead of getting help, her school board tries to cover it up because this guy was wearing a skirt. That's the only reason. If this was just some dude who went into the bathroom and then tried to do some stuff, they would have done it. They pulled out all the stops, charged to get this kid, arrest everything. They would have pulled all the stops. They would have applauded this dad for getting irate and everything. But because this guy decides to put on a skirt, now they go bend over backwards to try and coddle him and prevent his name from being leaked into the news. And it's that type of bullshit that really gets people like irritated. And it's why a good amount of people fight so harshly against this trans crap in schools, is because this stuff will happen where there's, someone will get, assaulted or whatever. And instead of dealing it with like any normal situation, the authorities will bend over backwards to try and not look transphobic. That's the whole thing. They're so afraid of not looking transphobic that they're willing to ensure that someone else gets someone else rights aren't being protected as well. So that's a big thing. So I'm really happy about this. It's really good. Good for this governor. Good job on this governor. Good for Sam Smith. Fuck that kid. Not the daughter, obviously. The dude who wears a skirt. Fuck that guy. Yeah. Like I said, I have a daughter myself. I I would probably be put in jail not for disorderly conduct. I'm just saying. I would not be prosecuted for disorderly conduct. It would be far worse, and I would probably go to jail. But that's me. So, I mean, all things considered, this father handled everything fairly well. All things considered, what he could have done. And, some may say should have done. It's up to you if you think that. I don't, endorse anything like that at all. But anyways, moving on. Okay, hold on. Before I do this one, actually, let's look at the. Should I do the? No, let change my mind. Sorry. Let's do the news report and then we'll look because I got a video too, and we'll see what people say. So as I said, California passes bill punishing parents who do not affirm trans kids in custody battles. Utter madness. Such madness, even Elon Musk talked about it. What it actually means is that if you disagree with a parent about sterilizing your children, you'll lose custody, which is what happens. California State Assembly passed a bill on Friday that would require judges in child custody cases to consider whether a parent has affirmed a child's belief that they are transgender. AB 957 originally proposed that court-decide custody cases must consider whether each parent was gender affirming of the child in question. An amendment in June added to the state's standard of what constitutes parental responsibility for children welfare, requiring that parents must be affirming of their child's identity if they are to be judged fit for providing for the health, safety, and welfare of the child in a court of law. Commenters across X, formerly known as Twitter, scorched the bill for jeopardizing a parent's custody of their child if they don't acknowledge their transgender identity. This bill is a wolf in sheep clothing. What it actually means is that if you disagree with the other parent about sterilizing your kid, you'll lose custody. Tech entrepreneur and Tesla founder Elon Musk wrote utter madness. Elon Musk is also very sensitive to that because he used to live in California, and also he has a kid that does this transgender crap. Gender transitioner Chloe Cole, who received gender altering treatment at 13 years old, has since testified about the dangers of such procedures for minors before the House Judiciary slammed the bill. This issue is wildly unpopular, yet the California governor pushes forward and with more and more radical policies, he wrote. At Protect Kids Canada, stupid, is trying to introduce a ballot measure that will stop the sterilization of kids in California. State Freedom Caucus Network communications director Greg Price shared a meme posing Democrats' anger at the idea of children being separated from their parents when their parents are arrested at the border. Would Democrats approve of separating kids from their parents if they don't affirm their gender? That's funny. Time for families to get out of California, Daily Signal senior reporter Mary Margaret Ulahan wrote. Another Daily Signal employee, Tony Kennett, wrote, affirming your children's mental illness or will rip them from your homes is a horrifically evil threat, and it's about to become the law in California. This will take your children, commenter James Lindsay wrote. The Libs of TikTok account, knowing for exposing left-wing radicalism professed by teachers on their social media accounts, scorched the bill. Insanity of the highest level, she wrote. They are after your kids and will use all the power possible to get them. Pure evil. The legislative evil. California is determined to discover rock bottom. Public Square CEO Michael Serfret wrote in social media posts, I'm so glad we left the state. I don't even recognize my former home anymore. Babylon B CEO Seth Dillon suggests if anything, the bill should be reversed. Gender affirming care should be taken into account, but the other way. Parents who affirm a child's mistaken identity should risk losing custody, he proposed. That's hilarious. Liberate California radio host and conservative commentator George Bonilla wrote. Democratic state. Oh, I bet this person loves it. That was right. They introduced the bill. Rep. Lori Wilson, who introduced the bill along with California State Senator Scott Wiener, stated assembly floor, parents affirming their children they have since the dawn of time. Typically, it happens when their gender identity matches their biological gender, because that's what they are. She went on to say, but what happens is when it doesn't, that's when affirmation starts to wane, because that's delusion. Later emphasizing the bill's focus on affirming a child's choice of gender, whatever it is, and proclaim our duty as parents is to affirm our children. No, our duty as parents, this person is a fucking idiot. Oh, sweet. So this is what we're going to, okay, I'll keep my comments because I have the video right here and we will watch it in 2 seconds. Don't worry. In a statement on the bill's passing, Wilson said, the family code is intended to center the best interests of the child in all decisions about visitation and custody. However, the family code currently fails to take into account this is very vulnerable population of TGI, what the fuck, transgender, gender, diverse, and intersex. Intersex kids are far more rare. They're far more rare. Children who are at risk of family rejection. LGBTQ plus youth learn to value and care about themselves when they are valued by their parents and family. The TGI Youth Empowerment Act will provide affirming parents the support they need from family court to continue to love and affirm their diverse TGI children. So Gavin Newsom, it's headed to Gavin Newsom's desk. He's gonna fucking sign it. So let's not. Obviously, he's gonna sign it because he's a fucking dumbass. All right, I will have this comment here very quickly. But first off, let's listen. Let us listen. Let's listen to a bald-headed chick. But probably, sports transgender stuff because she looks like a dude and
that parents affirm their children. They have since the dawn of time. Typically, it happens when their gender identity expression matches their biological gender. But what happens is when it doesn't, that's when the affirmation starts to wane. And that's what we're dealing with here. Although it's called the TGI bill, they're not mentioned anywhere in the law. What's mentioned in the law is the child's gender identity and expression and the parent's affirmation of that, whatever it is, because that is our duty as parents to affirm our children.
No, it's not. It is not your duty as a parent to affirm your kid. Your duty as a fucking parent is to not affirm your kid. It's to tell your kid whether they're being intelligent or not, whether they are correct or incorrect, whether they are living in reality or delusional. That is the job of a parent. And that is solely at the parent's discretion and not anywhere at all should it be a government's will to rip a child from their parents' custody because the government disagrees with the lack of affirming, I guess you can talk about, of a child's care. Now, look, suicide rates are very high around transgender individuals. And, people say, oh, it's because they're not, being affirmed and all that crap. Blah, 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 blah. I highly doubt it's gone down since the last study. I'm sure once we get another study, we'll probably see an all-time high. But if I'm a parent, okay, and I see a study that says, suicide risks among transgender individuals are extremely high. They don't get that much better even if they transition. I'm going to do everything in my power to ensure my child doesn't wind up like that. And the best way is to not entertain their delusion. This here is a delusion, okay? It's a delusion to want to affirm your child's gender identity as something that it's not. If they're a girl, they are a fucking girl, okay? They have a uterus, they have ovaries, they probably will develop breasts. Not all women develop breasts, I understand. But they generally will have a uterus, they generally will have ovaries. They will generally have at least breast tissues. Okay? If you are a dude, you have balls, you have a penis, you have sperm cells. Okay? Nothing that any surgeon does can change that. All right? If you are a chick and you think you're a dude, all right, your bone density is going to be less that of a male. Your testosterone's less than a male. Your literal biology is different from a male. There's no way for any surgeon to put actual sperm cells that you create into your body. Okay, the penis isn't that functioning, and from what I hear, when they try and create this crap and attach it to your body. Okay, so this crap is just literally insane. Now, if you're a dude, nothing that a surgeon does will create a uterus, that will create a vagina, that will create any sensations of a vagina. All they do is cut your dick off and give you a gaping wound. Okay. Now, how do I know it's a gaping wound? How do I know it's unnatural? Well, let me show you this. All right. The body heals itself. All right. Whenever you get a cut, whenever your skin's penetrated and it heals. Sometimes you require some stitching to make sure it heals properly, or, all that's some stitching to I guess the stitching really is actually to close the wound up and ensure infection doesn't get really allowed into it. But say you get a small cut and you put a band-aid on it, or you don't even do that, eventually it will heal. When you're a dude, you get your dick cut off, okay, and then you get a hole created inside you. All right, well, a hole in your pelvic area to simulate a vagina. Now, here's the thing. What you have to do is regularly insert a device that keeps it open, because the body will continuously try to close that wound because your body realizes you do not require this hole. So I'm going to heal you because you are injured and close this hole up. If you do not regularly insert this quote unquote medical device, that hole that they made to simulate a vagina closes. Okay? Now, it doesn't do that with your mouth, doesn't do that with your eyeballs, doesn't do that with your nose, doesn't do that with your butt. Okay? But it does do that when you cut off your dick and try to simulate a vagina with a hole. Why is that? Because you're not a fucking chick. You're a dude. Okay? We need to stop feeding these delusions and have these kids learn that they need to accept who they were. They were born a dude. They were born a girl. You need to accept that, move on with your life. You will be far more happier than trying to run away from what you are and actually embracing who you are. Okay? Nothing you do, no surgery as of yet, will create reproductive organs that will cause you to be that gender. Okay? Nothing. And any parent that goes around and tries to affirm their kid's gender identity is a bad parent. Full stop. This is insane. All right, rant over. God, this shit just pisses me off so much. Like, these people just... Here's my problem with it. In my view, I could be wrong, but in my view, majority of the parents that want to do this shit, they just see it as a bragging right. Oh, look, I have a transgender child. That's what I think a lot of these parents that affirm their kids care. It doesn't come anything from like actual loving and caring for the kid. It comes more from, I want, this is seen as a good thing. This is seen as something to brag about. This is seen as somewhere I'm looking at. This is seen as, like a bragging right, basically, especially in California. So I'm going to force my kid into thinking these things. That's what generally turns out to be with parents that affirm their kids' care or affirm their kids' identity. Excuse me. With teachers, they're just fucking delusional, fucking propaganda people. Anyways, sorry. I'm going on a rant because this shit just pisses me off. All right. I want to, yeah. All right. So we'll do one more thing. I won't do the Fulton County crap. Maybe I won't do it at all, ever. But we will do this at least. But yeah, I'm sorry for that long rant. It irritates me that people just really want to mess with kids. And that's what all this is. Okay. So let's see what the View thinks about migrants in New York.
But frankly, I think we need to find, and we've dealt with this before. I lived in Miami. I was an immigrant in Miami in the 80s. You'll remember when we had the Mariel boat lift.
Yes.
125,000 Cubans came in a matter of 6 months. It puts tremendous stress on a city, on a community, on the social services. They need to be resettled elsewhere.
They need to be out. We're this massive country.
Well, and it's only going to get worse with global warming and climate change because people can't live in certain parts of this world.
What the fuck? Oh, this is why you shouldn't have women doing like their own talk shows because they make no fucking sense. They don't. What the fuck was that? Oh, yeah, they can't live in certain because of global whatever. So it's just funny to me that the same people that want you to see. I don't remember these arguments at all when it was Texas or Arizona that had to deal with this crap. I don't remember. God damn it. I don't remember these arguments at all being levied when they didn't have to deal with it. I don't remember hearing them saying, hey, yes, they're coming into Texas, they're coming into Arizona, whatever. We need to spread it out and divide it evenly around the area. I remember them, at least, maybe not these ladies in particular, but I remember the people that think just like them, having a big outcry that Texas was sending these immigrants to sanctuary cities as it was considered rude or I don't even remember what they said, but they were very outspoken about against flying migrants to sanctuary cities and whatnot. And but all of a sudden, when they have to deal with it, oh well, this is a problem. They need to sell it elsewhere. They need to be spread out. Well, I mean, your sanctuary city, this is where they should go. People that will accept them, right? That's what you think. Just makes me laugh. These people. They don't ever care. And they still don't care, to be honest. But they generally don't ever care about the stuff unless it starts affecting them. Then they automatically, suddenly have a problem with it. They have such a huge problem with it that then suddenly they, they're like, oh, hey, we shouldn't be doing this. Such a big problem. But then, it wasn't a problem before when you weren't having to deal with it. But now that you had to deal with it, what the fuck? Anyways. All right. Sorry. I'm done with my ranting. Anyways, that's the end of this video. I guys hope you liked it. I got very passionate, very annoyed. We talked about everything that annoys the shit out of me. Governors violating the Constitution. Loudon County dad finally pardoned. California trying to take your kids. That's what that generally I covered today. And then the views, clucking hens. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you like it. Give me a follow. Make sure you follow me on Rumble. If you're watching this on Rumble or YouTube, follow me. That's my daily show. Follow me there. And then my gaming channel is right there as well. So follow me there. Make sure you check out Coffee Brand Coffee. Like I said, there's that referral link, and then there's that coupon code scrolling down. Those links will also be in the description. And then follow me at official W Ghost on X. It's the best way to, find out when I go live and whatnot. Like I said, make sure you give it a like. And I hope you all have a good day. Peace out. See you later.